Well, welcome back to the Racing Dudes YouTube channel. Preakness is a couple days away, and I'm here to talk about my Exacta ticket for the Preakness Stakes. So contrary to my video last week about how Muth was my early pick, womp, 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 he had a fever, he scratched, so it's time to look elsewhere, which actually may not be a bad thing, guys. We may get a better payout on these tickets. So now we have to talk about how do we think this race is going to play out. There is a lot of rain in the forecast right now, so everybody is going to hammer Mystic Dan because he can handle the slop, and he was the Kentucky Derby winner. Will this race be won on or off the pace? Because there is some speed in here, and I think imagination is going to go for it, especially with Muth no longer in here. And I'm not sure if anybody is going to go with him. So is he going to go gate to wire? Or are some of the horses going to take the bait, tire out, and set up for a closer like Catching Freedom and Tusk Gold? Now let's talk about Mystic Dan. He is going to be your favorite. Yes, he's proven himself, but I don't think he's going to want this quick of a turnaround. Early in his career, Kenny put him in a race 2 weeks after winning by 7 lengths at Churchill Downs. And then the next race, 2 weeks later, Mystic Dan ended up losing by over 8 lengths, didn't even hit the board. Kenny McPeak also had his reservations about Mystic Dan, and he even said this exact same thing. The last time we had a quick turnaround, he didn't do so well. And in the Kentucky Derby, he got the ride of a lifetime with Brian, and I just don't see that happening twice. You guys can hate me in the comments below. I'm sure you're going to. But now there is a ton of hype around Tusk Gold for Chad Brown. But to me, he really hasn't proven himself yet. He's been in 1 graded stakes and finished behind Honor Marie in Catching Freedom. Now, there's a couple D-Way and Lucas horses in here with Seize the Gray and Just Steel, but to be honest, I don't think either of them are going to want this distance. So after much thought, I really think that this is going to set up to be a standout race for none other than Brad Cox and Catching Freedom. I don't think he would bring him here if he didn't think he had a shot, and I'm a big fan of paired buyers when looking at PPs. He has the class, he has the late speed to pick up the pieces if there is a pace meltdown, and he's ran well in the slot before. I think he's going to be 3rd favorite on the board, so let's try and get some money, guys. Now, underneath, I do want to play the other Baffert horse. He's rested, he's ready. I think he could run a big race, and like I said, if people leave him alone on the front end, there is a chance he goes gate to wire. I get it, maybe muddy, maybe sloppy, but you can never not think about that option. Another horse that I'm a little interested in, just hear me out, guys, is the number 2, Uncle Heavy. He gets IRAD, which is a huge step up. He's won on a muddy track, and that was his best buyer in his career. I think if it rains, anything can happen in this race. And you all know me, I hate playing chalk, so I'm working on getting us some prices. So in an ice cold Exacta for $20, we're going to go with 4-9, Catching Freedom and Imagination underneath. In an Exacta box, I'm going to go 2-4-9 for $5. Now that's going to be a $30 ticket. So if you want to play that, if you want to play around with Catching Freedom in the number 1 spot and then boxing a lot of horses in the number 2 spot, do it. Because I really do think that Catching Freedom is going to win this race. And I don't ever play Brad Cox, so maybe take me a little bit serious, guys. But thanks for tuning into the Racing Dude YouTube channel. Make sure you are subscribed so you never miss one of these videos. The betting Bible for the Preakness Stakes should be out today. And until next week, guys, good luck.